We're back, Scott.
Hola.
Hola. What's hello in
¿Cómo
French?
está?
We're in France.
Uh,
Come on, French. You're fluent in French, right?
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm not even fluent in English.
Neither am I. So.
Uh, how do you pronounce the town? Seas?
Says,
Seos?
please. Says,
Seos, France.
says.
This is a weird one. It's Italian
Yeah.
and French from
Early war.
early war, yeah, 1944. Journal. I don't know what journal number this is. It's journal number 223, but that could be, I don't know, later journal, one of the later ones.
Yeah, I think it's fairly new.
Yeah, one of the newer ones, I mean, but yeah, higher numbered journals. And you took the French because you lost the
Frenchy.
previous scenario. In case people don't know, that's the way Scott and I play. Maybe I mentioned it before. The loser of the previous engagement between us gets to choose the side of the next scenario that we play, and you chose French.
Oui.
Why did you
Yeah,
do
I've been.
that?
Well, I don't know. I've been on kind of a losing. I've been on a little bit of a losing streak. I don't remember the last time I actually won. It's been a
uh,
while.
Last
We
year,
haven't
but
played.
that
We
wasn't
haven't
that
played.
long ago.
Yeah, we haven't played a lot. But,
No, we need to pick it up a little bit, I think.
why did I pick the French? I mean, it was well, for one, they're defending, and I feel like the defender usually has an edge, slight edge, maybe. And but yeah, it's either the French or the Italians. I do like playing the Italians, and it was. I just decided to defend, so thought I'd mix it up a little bit and take the French.
Anything about the order of battle here you want to talk about specifically?
You want to talk about that now? The little French armored car
Well, when we go to the
truck.
setup, everything's concealed. So maybe if you want to talk about it specific, you can do it now.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like,
As I don't know why it's even in the. I don't even know it's in the order of battle. It's just completely, utterly worthless. It's just a like truck with a machine gun. Can't
yeah,
drive it off road. And it's
you
only a
can.
two
It's just slow.
firepower. Well, two firepower machine gun. I mean, originally I thought about maybe using it to rip around and get behind you. You know, block some route paths
Hmm.
and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
But it's unarmored. It's not showing here, if I remember right. It's unarmored, right?
yeah, it's soft target.
You can
Yeah,
just light that thing up,
yeah. You had
which
that
and it
heavy.
did.
You had your kill stack with your 9-2, and I'm like, and they were pretty close to the road. Try to rip down that road, he's just gonna light it up. So I ended up just parking it in the back and just
Trying to think of what to do with it.
like I've said before, a lot of scenarios are puzzles. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away yet, but
Yeah, I've had the same problem. Yeah, order of battle. They're puzzles. How do you use these puzzle pieces to solve? Conquer your side of the puzzle. Sometimes I get pieces and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this.
I think I was missing a few pieces. I couldn't I couldn't complete my puzzle at all.
Does
So
not compute.
all right.
Um, we both had basically the same, almost about the same ELR and same SAN. You had 2, 3. I had 2, 3. Oh, we did have exactly the same. We both had miserable ELR and not a very high SAN. Here are my
No, yeah,
Italian units. They're all elite, which when you gave me the Italians, I'm like, I'll take them.
yeah,
And I have a 9-2 and a heavy, and two little pew tanks that are radioless, which I don't know anybody who likes radioless platoon movement with vehicles, but I had to deal with that. So
yeah.
I think the victory conditions are the Italians here. Victory conditions. The Italians have to get off 16, at least 16 victory points, and units, or no, by amassing 16, and I could do that through a combination of capturing building hexes or building locations, yeah, and or getting units off of the board in a specific hex, not like an edge, but one hex, which I thought
Yeah.
might be problematic.
Yeah, well, the VPs are a little specialized,
Yeah.
not normal, not normal victory points per se.
And I'll show you the hex here in a second when we get to the map. Special rules, not a whole lot. There was an orchard overlay. ECs are moist, so fire isn't going to come into play. It didn't come into play. The big building is ground level only. And vehicles entering on board 38, which is basically the Italian board, orchard hexes are subject to bog. We forgot about that, or I think we both did, but it
Yeah,
should have been
yeah,
on me to remember, but I forgot about it as well. And I ended up driving through a bunch of orchard hexes, and I'm like, oh crap. But we just kind of backtracked the next session, and I did a bunch of rolls, and nothing happened, so it didn't affect the game at all.
yeah. You would have had to roll boxcars, so
Yeah, yeah, they're low ground pressure. So, French could freely deploy 2 squads. I think you did,
yes.
and the Italian heavy has breakdown 12, and Italian sport weapons can enter on turn one must be DM. I'll talk about that in my setup. That was a weird,
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
part of the Italian setup. But let's go to advantages and disadvantages. You can go first since you set up first.
The victory condition exit hex. Yeah, it's off on the corner of the board, kind of in
Hmm.
the French side. It's a little difficult to get to, so yeah, it helps the French. A lot of concealment for the French. That was good. Tried to take advantage of that as best I could. Only one stone building that didn't really come into play, but it was my Alamo.
Yeah, you had a little kind of
Yeah.
fortress you can set up there.
Unfortunately, your sniper was able to shoot through the window. And
Did my sniper get to the guy in the stone building? He got to
yeah,
somebody. Is that
yeah,
who it was?
yeah. That was your
Yeah,
sniper.
Deadeye. Deadeye
Yep.
Italian sniper.
Disadvantages, mixed units. Yeah, I had some. Well, what the French they don't go to second line, right? They just go elite to first line, and then
You
yeah.
kind
Surprisingly, with the low ELRs, thought it was going to be a problem, but
you had a mishmash. You had like first
I
elite,
had some
first line,
green.
and
That's right. I had
green.
some.
And it's like a little
Yeah,
bit of everything.
I had one elite, first line, green.
Yeah.
Yeah, the useless armored car. It's not armored. It's just a truck, but
Oh yeah, it was. That's right. It's not an armored car. Strike that. It was a truck. Yes, with a pew pew little machine gun
approach.
on it.
Yeah, the boards. Just there with the orchard overlay. The There was two boards, right?
Yeah,
But there were so many hindrances that
lots of
I
orchard.
knew, I knew immediately looking at the setup. It's like, well, this is just gonna, it's just gonna be like a knife fight in a phone booth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna be able to really shoot at each other until you're right up close, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the way it turned
Yeah.
out. Yeah, Roar has it at 4 wins for the French. Archive 5 wins for the French.
Yeah. So, not a lot of playings, but it's not at this point. It's not totally skewed. Italian advantages. All my units were elite, which is great, which is rare when playing the Italians. I had good leadership. I had a 9-2, which is nice, and a heavy machine gun to stack with that 9-2. That's a
Yeah,
natural place to put it. With a breakdown of 12, so it's like extra bonus on top of extra bonus. I had my little AFVs. Now, there are two ways to play them. You can play them and actually use them and get in close and start firing, or you protect them because you had an infantry gun that could potentially take them out. Protect them as victory points to exit off the exit hex. So there's kind of two ways you can play the AFVs. Disadvantages, the exit hex. There's no board edges to get off. It's one hex you have to go through, and it's adjacent to a woods hex, and you have an infantry gun, and I knew exactly where you were going to put it.
yeah,
Balance. Roar, 3 wins. Archive, 5 wins. So basically 50-50 out of however many wins that adds up to be 18, 19 or something.
yeah, pretty close.
Okay, let's do setup. Here's the map. Let me just highlight the not the victory, the exit hex. It's right there.
Yeah,
right there. Go ahead and do your setup. Everything's
All my
concealed,
setup.
but you'll get a general
Yeah.
idea.
Well, like I originally I like was wanting to set up a little more towards you. Um, but it's like the more I looked at the hindrances, it's like I'm not going to be able to. I didn't really have any heavy firepower.
You
Just
had to
light
set
machine
up on the
guns.
top board, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
board 38, I think it was.
Yeah.
Uh, and what as always, you don't really have enough to defend with. But basically my plan was just to set up a token force up front, and then the majority of my force defending the victory locations and the approach to the exit.
Right. And here's the victory building locations I could capture, and the exit hex up to the right.
Yeah, each one would be worth 3.
The locations, yeah.
Yeah, there's. I did
And
end up setting. Yeah, I had 2. I had 4. Ended up with 4 half squads, I think, and I did put one all the way off to the left, just to kind of guard that flank and let in case he tried to. I didn't think he would, but circle around that left side of the board. But also, in case you didn't, was then he could just take off. But
yeah, here you can see all the. Is that it for your?
yeah, that's it.
I'll go through mine real quick. You can see the red line there. The Italians have to set up on or behind it, or enter the board, the south end of the board, which for the life of me, I can't figure out why anyone would want to do that because the weapons would have to be dismantled. That could be dismantled. So the heavy and the 2 mortars would have to come on dismantled. Plus, you'd have to spend extra, movement factors, work depending on where you came on. Oops, depending on where you came on,
Yeah,
just to get to the normal starting line. So I just lined them up on the starting line, and I didn't want to do like a set them up way over here. I don't know why this pen is so light thin right now, but I didn't want to set up over there and then try to do a run like this and try to go through that stone building. I just stayed on the right side and just came up and went straight for the exit hex. Try to capture the buildings here in the center. Not worried about the stone building at all. I had no plans of trying to take that. I was going to ignore it as much as I can or neutralize whatever was in there.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why you'd want to enter from off board. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a way or a reason why. And then my AFVs are down here. I have 2 coming on here and 2 coming on here using platoon movement. And you can see here what you were talking about, all the grain and orchard hindrances here. So I have pretty much I mean, you can fire at me, but it's most of the time it's going to be long range and, 4 hindrances, 5, whatever, until I get to,
Yeah,
right in here. So I just ran as fast as I could until I got in close to start the game and try to make a beeline, capture these buildings, make a beeline for the exit hex and hope for the best. That's,
yeah. I think if anything, this scenario should be shorter. I mean, it's 6.5 turns. I mean,
yeah, I
five and a
forget
half.
I forget where it ended, but 6.5. I mean, you're not going far
No.
really. And the first 2 turns is just me running. Almost 2 turns is getting close to that first building there. Let's go ahead and just start stepping through.
Yeah, go ahead. Run through it. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. I had no intentions of firing at you on your first turn. What was the point? I mean,
Yeah. So I'm just driving in my little pew tanks. And I'm setting them up so I could do some armored assault with some other of the Italian infantry. Get underneath them and do a armored assault next turn. Yeah, there I'm setting some up. Here's my tower of power moving in,
yeah,
stripping concealment. Then I was setting up to, even though you're concealed and I'm firing through a bunch of hindrances, I wanted to set up like try to set up some massive fire groups to maybe
Yeah.
have some effect, either stripping concealment or maybe breaking something.
Well, you had 20 some firepowers in your kill stack there with the 9-2. That's
Oh, there,
that's pretty good.
there's your Weasley half squad on the left.
Yeah, easily.
He's a little-
Hey, how's
he,
the Croix de Guerre?
he caused me stress. He did. I think he ended up eliminating at least one guy for failure to route and causing others to just not route at all. They would just sit there because they couldn't. They saw him hiding back there and they didn't want to route. Here I'm just moving in. Just go, go. Oh, I broke that guy.
Yeah, you already broke a guy.
Yeah, and I just moved in. Now here I should have been rolling for
Bog.
bog. Yeah, and we kind of went backtracked and I just rolled a bunch, but there was no outcome, so it's fine.
I think I didn't have much in that first building. I think it was just 2 half squads. I didn't
This-
wasn't really. I knew I couldn't hold them. I mean, so I wasn't. My plan was basically just try and stay concealed as long as possible until I started getting some good, you moving through open ground or something. Just
yeah,
you had
that
too much firepower. I mean, I couldn't. Yeah, if I fired, lost concealment, you'd have a big fire group and your 9-2, and
yeah, that building, each location is worth uh 3.
yeah.
All right, C1, D1. Yeah, so that building is worth 6 victory points there. Not just the whole building, but each location. So yeah, I'm just charging in here.
No, my plan was just to try and. I knew I couldn't hold that first building, but I thought I could try and hold the. I had more support to hold the other buildings. I really didn't have any anti-tank weapons other than the infantry gun.
No.
I figured they would get by me, and then I was just hoping that the infantry gun would get lucky and take out a couple of them before they could exit.
Yeah, and I wasn't. I knew the infantry gun was up there just above the victory condition hex. So I didn't. I really wasn't too timid. I didn't go into like sleaze freeze, right, and give you a chance to do some kind of
You could have,
reaction fire, right?
yeah,
I didn't want to risk it. I'm like, I don't need to risk it. But I wasn't too hesitant about getting my little PP tanks in close and doing some firing on you. I think I broke one of the main armaments
yeah,
at one point, which means it was worth 0 victory points. So at that point, I was thinking of just using it to run interference, but I ended up repairing it later, so I didn't do that.
Well, you said you contemplated even trying to repair it because
Yeah,
if it was eliminated, then it'd be recalled,
exactly.
and so then you kind of just started holding your armor back.
Right, because
And you didn't.
breakdown is 11 on everything. So
Yeah,
if I, as soon as I fired it, if I broke it, it was worth 0. So I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna like wait until I can drive off at that point. I think I quit firing them, except for the machine
yeah,
guns. Well, the main armament on 2 of them is a machine gun. I basically didn't
right.
fire those at all, I don't
Those,
think.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
the
We're,
other
we're
ones
kind of.
don't have machine guns. Yeah, I don't think I fired my tanks at all after that, after the first one broke.
I don't remember you firing the ones with the 37 millimeter on it.
Yeah. Too risky. I need the
Yeah,
victory points.
but we're getting in close now. I mean, shit's starting to happen.
Yeah, we're on turn 2, your turn 2, turn 3 now. Got my mortars on the back. They actually had an effect a couple times, I think. I almost dropped them, but I held on to them a little longer than I planned. But I think I got a critical hit at one point on
Yeah,
something.
at one point.
So,
They're not overly effective, but
well,
they're so heavy. That's the problem. I mean, if you're attacking with them, yeah, it's real easy to just drop them.
I don't think they did much until I got them past through those orchards and kind of to the right of that main building. Like here, I'm moving them up. Now at this point, I'm pretty much keeping my pew pew tanks kind of behind that building, just waiting a little. I think I adjust them a little bit because I know I want to keep them out of line of sight of your infantry gun until I'm actually going to try to move out the board.
Yeah, you're kind of just you stayed focused on that right edge of the board. It got kind of congested for you
Yeah,
at
it
one
did.
point.
Here I'm adjusting a little bit. Yeah, because I had to use platoon movement, so I decided to take one group around the left of that big building and the other around the right because it would have it was getting a little bit of a mess on the right side.
Yeah, I had some reinforcements come on. Um,
Yeah, your your truck there with the machine gun duct tape to the hood is up
yeah,
there.
and then I had like another platoon on.
Yeah.
Yeah, two squads, 80 liter light machine gun.
Oh, the tank. My tank's over on the little bit lower left. I repositioned them because I knew you were going to bring that half squad in, and if you brought them in too close, at least I could maybe try to fire on them in the open or at point blank with 8 firepower. And I think you changed your mind. Maybe that's what you're doing. You ended up running them elsewhere after that.
Well, it was, yeah. I was actually just going off. You had a broken squad. You had 80 liter, I think.
Yeah, here, yeah.
And
At that point,
yeah, and
yeah,
I was
Marconi.
gonna go after. Yeah, I was gonna go after them. You moved your tanks around, and I would have had to run through some open. They'll just get smoked. So I decided
Yeah.
to end up taking them down around behind you. Just use them to cut off some route paths.
So at this point, I have. What do I have? I've got three of the buildings at this point, or locations.
Yeah.
So that's 9, right? And the Italians don't win as soon as it gets 16. You have to hold on to. You have to have 16 at the end of the game. Now, could the French mount a counterattack and maybe take something back? Maybe. Didn't really happen. You were at the end. You were pretty depleted.
Well, yeah. It ended up I just couldn't make a route check towards the end. And well, and then I couldn't rally anybody. That was the worst part. I had several, what, 2, 3 squads that were broke, and I could never get them to rally. They weren't DM'd either. They were off in the back, and I just
Yeah, I tried to
couldn't
keep you
rally.
under DM as much as I could. You moved your truck in a little bit. I think this is you put him in range of my 9-2, my kill stack, and heavy. I think I decided to take a shot at some point at it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you. I kind of stuck them. I thought, well, they're not gonna, trucking much. Can maybe bait some fire from you, or or maybe get lucky and catch you moving in the open. But
I think I got rate with the machine. I think I prep fired the heavy, my kill stack, but I think I got rate on the heavy, and I'm like, screw it, I'll fire at the truck with my rate.
yeah,
I think I took it out here.
yeah.
Oh no, I mobilized it. Then I took it out later. Oh, I saw immobilized pop on it, and then it got deleted. I forget what happened there.
I think you did. I think at first shot you immobilized it, and then second shot you got rate.
Oh, I fired again. Oh, I got rate
Yeah,
again, I think. Yeah,
smoked it.
machine gun was going on a tear, I guess. Now that I've softened you up, I was kind of stuck there, and I was doing a bunch of
Yeah,
firing. I softened you up, so now I'm on the move again.
yeah. And then it's like I'm kind of just hanging, starting to just hang by my toenails. But you're only out. You still got 3.5, 2.5 turns left, or 3 turns. I got
3 turns after this movement.
yeah. I've got 2.5, but
Oh, your sniper did something. Oh, he just pinned the guy. Well, that was my sniper. Yeah, here's your guy at the bottom here. Nearly all my guys have line of sight. So depending on where they are when they break, they either can't move or they got. I think he eliminated one, but most of the guys that were broken under DM couldn't route. They just They
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
stayed, unless they were in open ground, they stayed where they
it
were.
was right at this point where I wish I had some 105 millimeter OBA.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been a mess.
Yeah.
uh, where are we at? We're on turn 4. I think it's this point. I'm getting in close. I think I'm making one more move with my mortars. I was going to try to get in range or line of sight of your infantry gun because it's in woods.
Yeah.
And I was going to try to take care of him.
Yeah. There's a big difference between 2+2 and 2-1.
Yeah.
I still felt like I had a chance at this point, but this is where it goes downhill in a hurry. My dice just went to shit and everything started breaking. Couldn't rally anything. It just got really ugly in a hurry.
I think it goes really to hell on my next movement. I
Well, right
think.
here I'm down to I have like one squad and a light machine gun that's not broke.
Got 1.5.
1.5.
This guy back here, but he's just there for route
Yeah.
harassment mainly. Not going to do anything. Yeah, you have, yeah, 1.5 and a light and a 9-1. Oh, and your infantry gun here with
Oh, that well, okay, yeah. Your sniper hasn't hit them yet, but
and I still have pretty help. Well, I got some broken guys, but I have most of my stuff. Still have all my vehicles. I think it's at this point I'm thinking all I need to get off is like 2, I think, of the
yeah.
vehicles or something to win. I'm like, oh hell, maybe I'll just drive, see if I can drive off and end this here. But I think I
Yeah.
calculated I couldn't get because of the platoon movement. I could only, I couldn't quite do it yet, something like that.
Maybe it wasn't your sniper. You just fired. You broke him. Maybe I guess maybe it's your 9-2 fired on him.
Yeah, wounded, broke him. He's wounded.
I lost that a half squad somewhere.
Got a bunch of broken guys back here, which
Yeah. No, this is
I had
where.
to take advantage of this somehow.
Wow. Yeah. There was nothing left for me to do. I mean, it was the fat lady was
Yeah.
she was singing at this point.
So here I'm moving. I'm trying to.
Here's bait and fire.
I'm baiting. Yeah, he took one guy. God, I rolled a 12. Morale check. Yeah, I'm trying to just lock out your fire here
Yeah.
because I want to get a guy. That guy made it across. And I thought you might fire infantry gun to prevent this, but I wanted to get a guy across and put all those guys under DM and make them route back even further, which I was able to do.
Well, you still had your vehicles to move, so I was trying to hold fire with the infantry. You were really trying to bait me into fire, and I think I finally did. But
The infantry gun crew or half
the
squad, whatever.
crew, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
the
just
crew,
surrounding them. And I'm like, fire. If you don't fire, I'm just going to jump into close combat. Screw
yeah.
it.
So I finally just fired. I think I rolled like crap, or you roll. Oh, you rolled good. Rolled a 4 on a test check,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's all
Yeah,
over
this
at
was
this
the end
point.
here, I think. Once you fired the infantry gun, I just
Yeah,
drove by them.
yeah.
I
There's nothing
think
left.
I think that was it.
That was it. Yeah, I got nothing left.
Yeah, that was the end
We
there.
talked about it. I mean, like we could have kept playing. Like say, yeah, I could have tried to some kind of counterattack, but
I don't know
couldn't
what
really.
you could have done because I still had, well, I had all these guys up here. I had a whole platoon up here. I had 9-2 heavy. I had 2 vehicles, which I would have just started firing right at that point. Maybe would have rallied these guys. Yeah.
Well, you could have ran everybody off board, and then I don't know if even if taking the buildings back, how many of those, if that would have been
Yeah, might have been enough to
might
prevent
have
it.
been, but
I would have just,
you could have left a token force back.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
have just gone, as soon as I got 16 off, I would have just left everyone to defend, I think.
yeah.
And
It
you
was
would have had to come across a road to get anything.
yeah.
So
It was
we
going
called it.
pretty good, but it just all of a sudden just got really ugly. It just the bottom fell out.
Let's look at the dice. We're at 30 minutes. We're trying to keep this at 30 minutes. We're
Yeah.
close. Here's the dice. What do we got? I had overall average 6.7. You had 7 average. Uh, Looking at the overall chart, I don't. Oh, other than you had a lot of tens
Yeah.
here for some reason.
Tens and eights.
You're a little bit higher on the eights, but you're tons of tens. Other than that, it looks pretty. Well,
Pretty
neither,
even.
both of us had below average nines. And snipers, I had 2. You had
You had one or
3.
two. Three?
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
3 ones. You rolled ones on 3 snipers. 12s. I rolled 1 infantry fire table, 1 morale check. You had 3 12s on morale checks. Ouch.
I think one of them landed on your 9-2 on your kill stack, which I couldn't believe. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
But
but
then the leader survived.
you got something else.
Like it broke the casually reduced the squad, one of the squads
Yeah.
or something.
I got a critical hit on a mortar, and I rolled 2s on something else. Other, I don't know what that would have been for other. You had snake eyes on infantry fire table, 2 morale checks. Yeah, I remember you had a battle hardening somewhere and a task
Yeah.
check.
I had a battle hardening, but then they ended up getting ELR'd right after that, and I think I ended up with just one disrupted squad, which was strange.
Yeah,
We kind of thought it was going to be Disruption City, but
no,
it didn't really come into effect.
no. I mean, there was some ELR, but we never got to the disruption stage really.
Well, not you. I mean, you were all elites.
Yeah, yeah.
I was worried about my green guys, but I failed a lot of morale checks, but it was just by one or two. I didn't fail them enough to really ELR
Hmm.
them to disrupt them, so that was good.
But the dice, I don't see anything crazy here. I overall mine were a little better than yours.
No, I think mine just kind of took an. Well, does it say at the end? At the very end, they ticked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, my average went up.
a little bit. Yeah.
Ah, it was a fun scenario. I think the French need a little help.
It was interesting. And what was the balance? Not that this is balanced, but what does the French get at a
Uh,
squad? I
yeah.
don't know. Would that have helped? Maybe a little bit.
Mm, I think what they really needed was a medium. They needed a something better than a truck with a machine gun, and maybe a medium machine gun. Maybe would have helped a little more.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want your truck getting behind me. I mean, you got a squad behind me anyway, half squad. That kind of was a little bit
Yeah,
of a thorn in my side, but
I
I
don't think they ended up didn't really do much. I don't think.
the 2 firepowers nothing. I wasn't worried about that. I just didn't want it to get behind me, and I didn't really waste much. The only reason I fired at it is because I got rate on my heavy, so I just fired at it. Because what I'd fired on before, I think I broke it, or you casually reduced from a morale check or something. So I just fired at it and then took it out.
Yeah,
But it's just a piece of junk driving around. 2 firepower. Yeah. Interesting little scenario. It was all right.
yeah, it was. Oh, it's always fun. Just,
Is it balanced? Hard to say. I mean,
I'd say it's
this felt kind of. I mean, I
what
don't
like
think the Italians were in our playing. I never really felt like I was in trouble. Really,
no.
you know. You felt like you were on your heels pretty early. You're like, oh crap, and you're trying to fall back. And
In my mind, yeah, in my mind, it favors the Italians. I would, what it needs is the Italians need to cover. If they had to cover a little more open ground, make it a little harder on them.
or
Like
take
I
a
said,
take a turn
there's
off or something.
Yeah, make it shorter so they gotta
Move
move
faster.
faster. Yeah. Yeah, because they just basically the first 2 turns was pretty much wasted. It was just you moving up. I wasn't gonna shoot
And
at you.
you watching me pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And me rolling for bog. That's about it.
But it was good. It was fun.
Yeah. Next up is
Tired of losing though.
you'll turn it around this next game because you're taking Bitterman's Escape. You're taking the Germans, leaving me the Ruskies,
The Germans.
which I don't know. There's two nationalities that I'm not too fond of playing. One doesn't surprise you, but may surprise others, is the Americans. I don't know why. I they and the other is
Well,
Russians. I'm not a huge fan of playing the Russians, but the Americans. Okay, caveat. Only if it's Devil Squads, like we were talking about before we
yeah.
started the video. If it's
Yeah.
paratroopers, sure, give them to me. But if it's a Devil Squads, I don't want anything to do with them. You can take them.
Playing the 666s at 6 morale. It's, I mean,
God,
the brights they're gonna break a lot, but they're gonna quick. You got that 8
yeah,
seconds.
I just
Yeah.
doesn't work for me for some reason. I don't know why. But
Uh, it's kind of your playing style. You
maybe
know,
it's I don't know. Do I play aggressively when I'm
yeah,
attacking? Do I? I don't know.
pretty
Maybe
much.
I'm
Yeah, it's
too.
always
Maybe I need to adjust my aggressiveness when I'm playing the Americans on the attack. Is that what you're saying?
with you. It's always thrust, 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 no
Go.
parry. It's just yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of you always need to be moving when you're the attacker because next if you delay one turn, sometimes that could decide the game for you. You gotta keep hustling.
It's like a Mike Tyson fight. The bell rings, you come running out of the corner,
Go.
sling haymakers, and yeah,
maybe maybe it's because I over the years I've a lot. I think some players they see a map and they're like, okay, what are my avenues of approach? I'm gonna split my units, right? I've gravitated the other way.
yeah.
I tend to go in a mass, right?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. I think back in the day, we both did that. We both kind of tried to split our forces. You're always trying to like make an end run or something,
Right.
but now the last couple of years, it's more like we've learned that we're just bum rushing is the
Just
word.
a pile of force coming at you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because usually a defender usually has to try and
Right.
cover most of the board, and he's doesn't have enough guys. And then yeah, so if you just take the attacker and take everything you got and shove it spot,
hmm
yeah,
So yeah, maybe it feels aggressive that from that point of view when I'm playing the attacker. I tend not
dilly dally,
to divide stuff up and probe. I just lately I just kind of put everything together and just go see what happens.
YOLO.
Pretty much. Sometimes it
Well,
works, sometimes it doesn't.
they're only cardboard anyway,
Exactly.
so
Yeah, that's why at the end here I was just running guys across the street. Shoot me, bullet sponges, right?
yeah.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense militarily, but it's a game.
You killed him. That's okay. Where's the next? Throw the next guys. Oh,
Right.
killed him. That's
Exactly.
going. Keep going.
You guys run across the street. They'd be like, "Oh hell no!
Yeah,
I just
it's
watch all my buddies get killed. I'm not doing that."
it's just like they used to say about Patton. Patton's guts and their blood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Bitterman's Escape. Germans Ruskies. That'll be our next AAR.
yeah.
But for today, we're sticking a fork in this one. Italians conquer the French in this weird little scenario.
I'm out.
Ciao. Hey, Italian. Ciao.
Ciao.